Having gone over my favorite heuristic, that the best trades go immediately in your favor, it's now time to go over some case studies to bring this topic home. In these case studies, we are going to cover a wide range of different plays so you all can see how they apply under various scenarios. First, let's dissect a couple of big breakout trades that many intraday and swing traders I know ended up taking. Take for instance the daily chart of Supermicro, SMCI. We had a huge level at $358 on the daily. We were in a market environment where semiconductor stocks were wildly strong and breaking out cleanly. And then SMCI had a news catalyst where it had preliminary earnings guidance the night before. We gap up, open higher, and then intraday we drive right through that $358 daily level like it's nothing. Notice though, we didn't dally around. We don't shoot back down below by a bunch of points, and we don't consolidate around there. We don't stick around for support to form. We are gone like a rocket. So many traders, including experienced ones, will start aggressively selling their stock into that move. Oftentimes, when it is a steady, strong move like that, that is a mistake. And while it psychologically feels nice to lock in profits, you're doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Unless the stock is capitulating higher, which it isn't here, we want to view this as a signal that this trade could have legs and actually do the uncomfortable feeling act of trying our best to hold these trades longer. Next, we will dive into what a breaking news headline looks like where the stock melts and never looks back. Consider the breaking news scenario involving Spirit Airlines, SAVE. SAVE was in a merger deal with JetBlue and had been trading significantly higher on that news, but there were tons of antitrust concerns. The court came out with the ruling that the judge had blocked the deal, and what we see in this video of the price action is just how immediate and one-sided that price response is. We shoot down, zero attempt at any bounce, and we just get walloped down again and again into the lower limit volatility band where trading then gets halted. Yes, I am intentionally using some very extreme examples here to prove my point. But this stuff always operates on a spectrum, and it's often most beneficial to build frameworks by studying the extremes. Headlines that take off with minimal or no pullbacks are often the ones we want to side with holding longer, despite how tempting it is to paper hand it and lock in gains. Notice where SAVE ended up finding an equilibrium that day, huge amounts lower. Leveraging the market's immediate validation of news allows us to increase our confidence and often hold better than we would otherwise. For a final example, we will go over a capitulation trade, and for that I chose AST Space Mobile, ticker ASTS. This ticker had been exploding higher on a series of huge deals from major telecom cos, and then we really started capitulating after a positive upgrade. After a huge prior day, on August 16th, we had a nice intraday short opportunity. ASTS had steadily trucked higher off the open, holding prior bar lows for 8 bars. Exhausted itself, then turned, allowing a short at prior bar lows. We then proceed to steadily pull back, cleanly holding prior bar highs. Many will be taking their covers, yet it is when we trade so cleanly and work so well that we want to stay in the trade, letting it work and listening to our stop of prior bar highs. Look how much extra reward you are able to capture when you recognize how smoothly this is turned after that exhaustion. It isn't fighting you up by highs. It isn't consolidating up there. It turns and steadily grinds lower, then starts to melt in our favor. I hope these examples help clarify what it looks like in some pretty extreme cases when a trade immediately works in your favor. Yes, these are absolutely cherry-picked examples, but they are cherry-picked because they demonstrate this concept so well. It is so useful to study the extremes so that we can start to build a mental database of what these heuristics look like in action. As a next step, I would ask you all to reflect on how you can make this heuristic your own. How can you define what your plays look like when they're working? How can you decide beforehand how you will act when trades are working very well? How much of a core position will you try to hold? How much are you okay selling to lock in some gains? Preparing ahead of time only helps you execute better in real time.